Chosen Chaps. I hope you're having a blessed and positive day. So today, this video is for anybody that feel like they've been dealing with addiction. They feel like they've been dealing with idolization, and they want to be free from it. They feel like it has such a strong hold on them that they can't let it go. This video is going to be for you, so you need to watch to the end because this may help you get free from it. Now, when you are in the midst of addiction and idolization, there was some point in your life that you came in agreement with it. God had gave you a position to be the CEO. He gave you the position to be the head. But at some point you had allowed the entry level employee, which is the addictions, which is idolization. You allowed it to get in the CEO position. And when it got into the position, you took your position down here. You put God down here and allowed the addiction to overtop God. You allowed the idolization to overtop God. And now you're in a place where you feel like it has control of you. Because once you put it in that position, it starts to have control of you. It tells you how to run your day. So say if you are a shopping addict, now it's telling you how to run your day. So now it's telling you as soon as you wake up, order this, buy this, spend your money on this. It has control of you because you allowed it to. That's why God said in his word, it says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. So God said, don't bow down to it. Don't serve it. But you have gotten into a place where you serve the addiction. So when you wake up, you want to please the addiction. As you're going through the day, you want to please the addiction. You're following what the addiction is telling you to do. When it's time to get your fix, you follow what the addiction says. Instead of reversing it and allowing God to be the head and bowing down to him and allowing you to bow down to God and allow God to dictate your day. But instead you have allowed that addiction to dictate the day. So it's not so much of an addiction problem. It's not so much as idolization. It's an authority problem. You forgot your power. You forgot your authority. You forgot who you are in God. You completely forgot. So now you allow it to have control of your day-to-day life. You allow it to have control over everything that you do. And not only did you give up your position as CEO, which is where God belongs because God is in you, you gave up that position to them. You gave up your territory. You gave up your land to them. You said you can have power. And now while they're having power, they're controlling your life, they're also strategically messing up everything around you. So now your money's looking funny. Now your mental health is out of order. And now your health is declining because you're not in the position where you belong. You have become a slave unto the addiction. You have become a slave unto the idolization. Instead of making it your slave and telling it, no, I won't do that today. No, I won't do this today. God has given you power. He has given you dominion. He has given you authority over the addiction. But what the enemy wants you to do, he wants you to stay in it. So how does he keep you in it? He makes you believe that you can't get your territory back. He makes you believe that you no longer have dominion because you have allowed this idolization to dictate you for years after years after years. And now you believe the enemy and you think that it has more power over you. But it never had power over you. You just gave it power, but it never had power over you. You always was the one who had more power. You always the one who had the control. But the addiction and the idolization made you believe that it has control over you. So this has to be the season that you reverse it. You say, no, in God, I am the boss. Through God, you are the CEO and you control your life. You control how your day goes. The God in you has the authority. So you got to submit yourself to the God in you, not to the idolizations, not to the fleshly things that are in you. Because once you get back into position, that's when the things around you are going to start to change. But because you have stepped out of that position and gave the power to someone else, you gave your land to the idolization. Now you feel like it has a strong hold on you. And that's what the enemy wants you to believe. But in order for you to be free, you have to know and believe that freedom is already yours. You have to know and believe that God has already freed you. But you have to make the decision to become free. You have to make the decision to walk away. You have to make the decision to get back in your rightful standing where you belong. You're the king and the queen. It's like you took off your crown and gave it to the addiction. That's just like if you were playing a game and you're controlling your life through the God that's in you. You're controlling your life. But at some point, you say, you know what? At some point, you told the addiction that it can have control. You gave the controller to idolization. So now that person you're idolizing is on your mind every day. It's controlling it. Now the thing that you're smoking is controlling you every day. When you wake up, you gotta smoke. When you go to sleep, you gotta smoke. You have gave it the power. But you gotta remember that you always have the power and you can take it back. This has to be the season that you take your power back. Because you're hurting yourself by staying in that idolization. You're hurting yourself by bowing down to things that you have control over. That's like giving your child authority to be the adult. You're telling your child to be the parent when God has given you the authority to be the parent, you the authority to control it. So you got to put it back in its place. Put the addiction back in its place where it belongs, under you, under your feet. That's why God said you are the head and not the tail. Because you have the control through God. You have the power. You have the authority. You have dominion over the land. So go get your land back. And once you get your land back, you make the addiction your slave. You say, no, I'm not doing you today. No, I'm not shopping today. No, I'm not spending that money today. You have the power because God has given it to you. God gave you the controls. He gave you the power to be free. But you have to make the decision that you want to be free. But you got to know who you are. You got to know that you're the boss. Know that you have the authority. Know who you are in Christ. And once you know that, you'll be able to be free from the very things that tried to hold you. Because you think it's a stronghold. You think it's holding you. But really, you're allowing it to keep you bound when the chains are already broken. The enemy wants you to believe that it's not, but it is. So you got to make the decision to have power. You got to make the decision to get back in position, get back in alignment. Because God has so much more for you, but you got to let it go. All right, chosen chance, I'll talk to you next time. I pray that you continue to work on your freedom, continue working on letting go of those things that's holding you back. Because you have the authority. Peace out. See you next time.